This video is brought to you by the Dragon Slayer. Be sure to check out our website for additional articles, videos, and commentary. Welcome to the finals of our Modern Monday event. This is Game 1 with Doug Maull playing Merfolk versus Brian Stanek playing Jund. And so far we've seen a lot of Brian Stanek on camera. He's done pretty well this tournament. Cool thing about Doug, actually, he went first round loss, and then went XO the rest of the tournament. So
yep.
It's a pretty nice miracle here.
Do we know what he lost to?
I believe he lost maybe to Control. I'm not sure if it was Control.
Oh yeah, no, I remember leaving and seeing him there. So Brian's going for turn one. Which is probably one of the best spells, honestly, against Doug in this match.
Oh yeah, this is probably great for Brian. That's a really weird hand. So it's like double Spreading Seas, Curse Catcher, and then 4 lands. That is probably not the best hand for Doug, but maybe he's looking to ride those Mutavaults late game.
Yeah, I don't know about this. I mean, the Spreading Seas seems like, I guess, they all seem like good targets, but...
Yeah, I mean, we don't really
Catcher...
know what Brian's hand is. We do know that Spreading Seas turns off any of his animate lands, so...
That's true.
So we'll see here. This could be interesting. Here we go. Tap land from Brian. It looks like a pass. So I guess this gives Doug a good amount of time to set up. I mean...
Yeah, I mean, he's coming in for one. Gonna definitely turn one of those into an island. I mean, I should hope so.
Yeah, I guess maybe the play is play Mutavault here and then Spreading Seas that Raging Ravine.
Yeah.
But it looks like he's going double island.
Surprise on the island. I would have definitely gone for the Mutavault.
Yeah, I don't know what his line of play there was. I mean, he can't cast the Lord anyway if he does draw it this turn, right? So
yeah. Interesting. Well, we'll see. Maybe it was misplay or, I don't know, some wacky tech we got going on that we just aren't seeing. So, 2 for the ooze.
Okay.
And
that doesn't seem like a bad play from Brian.
No, yeah.
I mean, the thing is with the Merfolk, if you don't have enough creatures on the field and you don't have any Lords on the field, they're pretty weak on their own.
Yeah.
Fortunate thing about the deck is you play about 12 Lords, so... So, I mean, we definitely assume that he wants to play at least a Mutavault this turn, if not a Lord, if he can afford it.
A Dismember is pretty wild.
So I think I don't know if that's necessarily the worst play from Doug. I know the deck does run at least 1 or 2 Dismember main,
right?
Because it does deal with all those problem
like,
creatures.
I don't know. Okay, so there comes a Mutavault.
Okay, and Brian's gonna fetch, going down to 17 here. Unless I missed 16 probably off the combat from the Curse Catcher. So I think like the interesting thing is the way Doug's setting this up. Next turn he can go second Mutavault, use that to animate his Mutavault, and potentially cast Lord off the double blue. So I mean, we haven't seen his hand. We do know I think he has a Silvergill Adept in hand, and another Mutavault at least. And Brian's showing Lightning Bolt, Terminate, and a couple other cards. Looks like Treetop Village is his draw.
It's pretty strong against Doug, I think. There's
With the Treetop Village?
Treetop. I mean, any Manlander is really just strong in general, but especially in this matchup, I feel. Because,
yeah, assuming Brian can keep him off the Lords and preventing the Mutavaults from growing any bigger, I think the Treetop Village is definitely a good card.
Keeping the Bolt up for sure. Especially when maybe it animates the Mutavault, that would be a huge hit to Doug. I mean,
yeah, that would definitely be ideal. I mean, Doug did reveal, 2 Mutavaults on the first? On the Inquisition?
2 Mutavaults, yeah.
So, I don't know if he's necessarily worried about losing one yet, but it's definitely something pretty powerful for Brian to
keep it. So maybe Spreading Seas? Or...
There we go. Silvergill Adept revealing Curse Catcher instead of paying the additional 3. Doug's going to go ahead and draw a card here. And I cannot see any cards in his hand.
Yeah. Keeping him real close. Drop it an island, I guess, for a Curse Catcher.
Yeah, that's probably fine. I think we want to turn off as many spells as we can of Brian's if need be.
So it's sacrifice counter unless they pay 1, right?
Yeah, instant and sorcery.
Yeah.
So here goes a Lightning Bolt targeting Silvergill Adept. I think that's probably a good play.
Then we got what?
Oh, Vapor Snag.
Okay,
that's a pretty defensive play. Good defensive play for Doug there. Also, it's nice if he can recast it, draw another card.
Yeah.
So
especially, yeah.
And also, it doesn't affect anything. Doug's still getting in for that 1 damage that he was trying to originally with.
The Vapor Stanek is like very sneaky because it does get around the manland, so I'm not mistaken. Since we're just return target creature, right?
Yes, that's correct.
So
yep.
It's very sneaky.
Yeah, it's also like, I mean, you don't see it a lot, but every now and then it can be used as a defensive spell. I remember when that was really big with the Delver of Secrets, the blue-white Delver builds in Standard, you were able to bounce, your Geist or something to, protect it. Or bounce your Delver.
Oncoming Slag Storms.
Yeah, the oncoming Slag Storms.
So, let's see here. Now, I do feel like this is sort of almost like a standstill-y kind of game. I mean, I would just go in... Before even doing that, I would feel like I would just go into combat. But I guess the Relic is...
Oh, that's a pretty good play from Doug. These are...
Yeah.
I remember talking to him before this game, and he was saying, yeah, my deck's still pretty old tech. He's still running, like, main deck Relics, which, it is what it is. It's going to be effective in this game since, Brian's on Tarmogoyf.
I remember Doug saying that he does feel like Relic of Protagonistas have a place in every deck because it sort of defeats almost every... Well, not defeat, but it does help against every deck.
Yeah, plus in this position, it can cantrip him, which is nice.
Mm-hmm. Though I don't know if I would have paid the blue, especially...
Yeah, I don't know if he's trying to represent that he has anything or it does not. Maybe he doesn't have another Lord in his hand. He can't even cast the Silvergill Adept. So maybe he's just in a locked position where he has 2 Curse Catchers and a couple Mutavaults.
That's true.
So here Brian goes. Maybe an end of turn terminate on one of the Silvergill Adepts.
Or, Curse Catcher.
Oh, sorry, yes, Curse Catcher, yep.
I don't know if that was the play.
I don't think it hurts. I don't know, every time I play this Merfolk deck or any iteration of it, it seems like just the more Merfolk they have, the worse you feel about your life.
I guess, but I would have definitely tried to save for the Mutavaults or a Lord, because 2 points of damage is not really huge.
That means even 1 point of damage, right?
Well, yeah, but if there was 2 of them.
Oh, sure.
So, like, if he was coming to animate, because now he's got the second Terminate, looks like, in his hand.
Whoa. Okay, so Doug definitely reveals that he has no Merfolk in his hand right now. He's just hardcasted a Silvergill Adept, paying the additional 3 mana. So that's got to be good news for Brian. Although Doug has triple Mutavault,
that's definitely
Brian's not facing any Lords or anything right now. And he is aggressively pulling the trigger on these. So I don't know how I feel about that play necessarily, because
Kolaghan command.
Only for the discard. So it has a shock effect, which is fine. The shatter effect is not even necessary. He can't bring anything back, and the discard spell, we already know he has no Merfolk in hand, so he probably has dead cards. So at the very least, you'd shock a creature, and that's it for 3 mana.
Yeah.
I think it would have... I don't know exactly what he has in his hand, but it might have been potentially better to do something else with it. Although, we don't really know. If Doug plays a single Lord and animates any of the Mutavaults, they're already 3/3s, so the Kolaghan's command is pretty far out of reach.
I do think he maybe just felt a little bit better wasting such an irrelevant spell on the Silvergill because he wouldn't have really minded, I guess, if the Curse Catcher left.
Okay, I could see that. Yeah. So basically just getting rid of a spell for the sake of getting rid of it and killing a creature in the process.
Yeah.
Yeah, don't get me wrong, it's not a bad play. It's just like it doesn't seem like the best way to optimize that spell.
Yeah, I agree with you.
So that's a Lord of Atlantis. Yep. And this is going to be a good amount of damage here. So you have 2 3/3s and a 2/2.
Yep. He does have the Terminate in his hand, though.
So if you're Brian, do we kill a Mutavault or do we kill the Lord?
I'd probably kill the Lord.
Okay.
Honestly, I don't think...
So if you look at Brian here, he does have a Liliana of the Veil in hand.
Right.
And if I were him, again, he does have the Lord, so he could have terminated Mutavaults, maybe, and then Edict, hoping that, obviously Doug would sack the Curse Catcher, but...
Now, could he... I don't remember exactly how much the mana is for Treetop Village to be animated.
It's 2 mana, 1 and a green.
So he could have done that as well.
He could have traded, yeah.
Well, yeah.
With the Mutavault.
Well, he could have... In my head, I think he would have probably gone for the Curse Catcher, eat the 6, and then the Edict on the Lord.
Right, okay.
Yeah, so there's a different couple lines of play there, but
Absolutely.
definitely wasn't bad.
So this is actually not a bad play from Brian. I guess he just drew the Scavenging Ooze. He still has a Liliana in his hand, but he does have 3 green mana up, and Doug's graveyard is filled with creatures right now, so Brian can gain a little bit of life and really pump his Scavenging Ooze. I mean, I don't know if Doug is in a position right now to even attack with the Mutavaults. Brian can block 1 and at least gain 3 life to negate 3 points of damage, so only taking 1 for the turn. We'll see. I think he's just getting a count to get an idea of what kind of damage Brian can do here.
So, that's Master of Waves.
Master of Waves for 2.
That doesn't seem very good, but I mean, at this point, maybe
it might just be good enough.
Yeah.
I mean, we do see. I don't know if we can attack with the Scavenging Ooze or not. So this is actually a point that I made out to Brian earlier. He has 3 green open, and he really wants to exploit and get rid of all 3 of those creatures, gain as much life as possible, and make it a 6/6. Now the nice thing, even though it is a master just for 2, it's still enough to block the ooze for a number of times.
It does chump, or it does at least make Leona's ability very not as efficient.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, but what can he do? Brian's probably going to go ahead, make him sack a dude, and attack for 6, maybe, or attack for 5, and then his Leon's going to die next turn.
So he's doing the smart play of taking down a creature so that he can't chump block the Scavenging Ooze completely.
Right now,
because now that's 5 power, I believe, on the board. Right,
from Doug.
Yes.
Yeah, it's 5 power on the board from Doug, so, 5 power from the Ooze. I mean, regardless, I'm sure Doug may feel like he might want to take out the Leon. I don't know if it's entirely necessary. He does have enough creatures on the field where the Edict effect is not that relevant right now. I mean, we also forget he does have 3 Mutavaults, which they're also elementals, so they get the +1/+1 off the Master of Waves pump as well.
That's true. So
here we go. Into the red zone for 1, 3, 6 damage. Master of Waves hanging back. We have a Treetop Village coming in.
Treetop Village. I'm assuming blocking the Curse Catcher.
I mean, either one, right? The Elemental is a 2/1, and the Treetop is a 3/3. So he can trade, or he can block Treetop.
Yeah, I do feel like the optimal one, however, is the Curse Catcher, just because it's a Merfolk.
Okay, yeah, I can see that play. And it is Devotion, in case he does draw another Master of Waves.
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, you're right. That's probably a good play from Brian.
Dropping Verdant Catacombs. Not look like a lot of action for Brian, unfortunately.
No, what is interesting, though, is you notice he could animate that Raging Ravine, but it's a big mana sink right now, considering the Master Waves has protection from red.
Yeah.
So Master Waves might just default block that Raging Ravine.
No, it might not be so bad in all reality, because
he's still going to get through.
He will get the counter on it.
That's true, and it will not die. Maybe. Oh, actually, he can't. Right? That still has a Spreading Seas on it.
Oh, that's true.
That does.
Right,
okay, yeah.
Yep.
I just blended in, looked like another land for a second.
That's okay.
Well, here we go.
In with the Master Pearl Trident.
Oh boy, here we go.
So yeah, there comes set. They all get a buff from the Master Waves and the.
Yes, the Mutavaults are 4/4s right now.
No, the 4/3s. The Master
is plus 1/1, but the Elementals are 1/0s. Yep.
You're right.
So that's a significant amount of damage. The best Brian can do is block 2. Right?
So he's activating...
okay, he actually can't block at all, as Doug points out. He does have a Spreading Seas on board, and the Merfolk have Island Walk.
Ah.
So that's that.
That's pretty sneaky.
That is. Yeah, you really don't think about it that much when you get that Spreading Seas out there.
No, really, you don't. So that's very unfortunate. You pretty much have it unblockable. So yeah, that's not much to do from there.